Hey, welcome back to the channel. So guys, as you can read the title, Pregnancy and Me, this is pretty much an experience that I am going through. This is my 4th pregnancy. I'm excited. This one is a little bit different than the other 3 pregnancies, and I just want to explain week 3 through 5 with you guys of everything that I've been going through. And maybe some of you are going through the same exact things. So guys, if you're wanting to sit with me today, join me. So guys, I'm going to talk about week 3 through 5, and then I'm going to talk freestyle, where that's just me just talking randomly about pretty much my pregnancy. Okay, let's get started. Okay, week 3 for me, I had headaches. I was very fatigued, bloated, still bloated. And just feeling very, just tired. Like it really wasn't a lot going on during week 3, just a little bit of stuff going on. How I found out that I was pregnant, before the pregnancy test, I knew. With my 2nd child, at the time, his father and I separated, and I was going through a divorce and everything. So anyway, I moved back home. I left my apartment, everything. I completely started over. So being home again, getting a new job and everything, it was fine for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I kept waking up with headaches. Constant headaches, and just like a very metallic taste, and just very nauseated. I didn't throw up, but I think I had headaches for about 2 weeks straight before I decided to take a pregnancy test. And once I took the pregnancy test, I was pregnant. With this one, during week 3 is when I found out that I was pregnant. And I knew, because I kept having the headaches constantly, back and back like before. But at the same time, I was in denial because, like I told plenty of people, Johnny and I have been trying for a long time, like a year, about a year, yeah, a complete year. And we kept taking pregnancy tests, we kept doing what everybody online kept telling us to do, what to eat, things like that, and we just did not get pregnant. We didn't get pregnant. We just pretty much prayed about it, and we just let it go. We stopped thinking about it. We stopped doing the positions that they wanted us to do to have a baby, and we decided to just do it our way. So we pretty much just, we had sex the way we wanted to, and instead of putting my legs up, I just was so tired. I laid on my stomach, flat on my stomach, and I just went to sleep that way. And I didn't think nothing about it. Probably about 3 weeks later, I started to get the headaches. About 3 weeks later, I started to get the headaches constantly, back to back. And I was like, oh my goodness. The only time I get these headaches is when I'm pregnant. And I knew I was pregnant. But at the same time, I still had a little doubt in me because of constantly, not getting pregnant. But once I took the pregnancy test, it was confirmed that I was pregnant. So I found out during week 3. So if they say you cannot take a pregnancy test during the week 3 of after ovulation, the 3rd week, you can. For me, I found out at right at 2.5 weeks. I found out I was pregnant. Very long time ago, I found that I was pregnant, and that's just proof to say that you can find out early versus waiting 4 weeks and stuff like that. You don't necessarily have to wait until your period You can do it the week before the period, like me, I found out. But I have to say it could be different for those that haven't had a child. Like, that's kind of like a twist. For those that haven't, that this would be their first kid, I can't really say that they wouldn't find out at 3 weeks, because I remember me having a baby early. You know, my first child, I found out, and I think at the time I was like 3 weeks, 2.5, 3 weeks. So it is possible, but as you can see on the internet, they say, oh no, you can't test yourself yet. It's not gonna come up positive until your 4th week. That is a lie. That is a lie. So I've actually been sitting on YouTube. I know I'm rambling, guys, but I've actually been sitting on YouTube and just listening to a lot of people's videos about the things you're supposed to eat, the positions you're supposed to do. Guys, I am living proof to tell you, the best position, the very best position to do is let your man do it doggy style, and then you lay flat on your stomach. Just lay flat. Go to sleep flat on your stomach. I know they tell you to get up and pee and everything, but just do it during that ovulation time, when it's right at ovulation time, right at that point. And even you want to try and do it also the days before, but we didn't do it the day before. We did it the day of, and instantly we got pregnant that day. But of course we didn't know until a couple weeks later. But yeah, it was that day. And we just didn't think about it. You're not really supposed to think about it. Don't think about it. Like, it's, when you think about it so much, you're causing so much different hormones in your body. You're causing yourself to stress out because you're really wanting to have a baby. Don't think about it. Like, literally just say, hey, honey, let's have some fun. And just do that. Don't think about it at all. And that's what we did. We just stopped thinking about it, and we just said, you know, God, if it's your will for us to have a child, you know the perfect timing. And we just let it go. And we're pregnant with Johnny's first child. This will be his first child. And this will be my 4th kid. So, also with week 3, I didn't really have many symptoms, like just the headaches, the fatigue and bloating, and a little bit of nausea, but nothing very severe, of course. Week 4 for me, guys, I've had headaches still, fatigue, cramping. Oh my goodness. Cramping. And actually, cramping for me started during week 3. But I thought a week later would have been my period. And I was assuming that the crampings were my period. But normally when I have period cramps, I would cramp like for that couple, like 30 minutes of the day, and then it would go away. But the pregnancy cramping was consistent. It was back to back to back, and it just kept happening on and off, but it kept happening throughout the day. And I'm like, okay, this is not normal for me to cramp this way. And that was another sign that I was pregnant. First it was the headaches, then it was the cramping. And it just made me believe more, okay, you're pregnant. Joint pain. I still have joint pains. I take pain medicine. So as soon as I get up in the morning, I have to take pain medicine because my joints really ache. And like my cramps, they don't hurt, but they make me feel just uncomfortable when it happens. So I minimize the cramps and the joint pain with pain medicine. I take it as soon as I wake up in the morning. After I eat breakfast, I take it. And then it usually lasts me until about 12 o'clock noon. So normally I get up about 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And probably normal. Well, now I get up at 6 because my oldest goes to school. So I get up at 6. I eat my breakfast. I make my husband's lunch. I make my son's lunch. I make my other 2 kids breakfast. The ones that are with me right now, they are asleep. Oh, thank the Lord. And I take my pain medicine. I take my vitamins, and I also still take one-a-day women's. So I take 1 prenatal vitamin, 2 painkillers, and 1 one-a-day women's. I think I said that right. I hope I did. Prenatal, two painkillers, and a one-a-day women's. So I take those every day. And some people probably like, why do you take one-a-day women's? I actually took one-a-day women. I've been taking it a long time, but it has so many different vitamins and minerals that your body needs, and it just helps me to function better. It's great when it comes to joints, building your joints, your eye function, pretty much your entire body. It helps to just help your body recover from any type of damage, be a lot stronger, more energy. And so I just decided to just keep taking those and take the prenatal vitamins. Yes, it makes me a little constipated, the extra vitamins, but I just drink extra water to flush out, the stool. So that's a good tip, guys. So if you're wanting to do the one-a-day women's plus the prenatal, just drink a little extra water, more water. So for me, I drank 1.5 gallons of water a day. So I would drink about 20 more ounces to 30, probably about 30 more ounces on top of that. So probably about 2 gallons of water a day to help my body just flush out any stools and things like that. My body cannot deal with starch well, any type of starch. So I have to always drink water and exercise to keep myself flowing. Nausea. I've only just had nausea. It's not as bad. It's only in the mornings, just for a little bit, and it's just like this feeling. But really, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as my other pregnancies. It was horrible. Like I threw up 24/7. But this one, I'm not throwing up. I'm just nauseated. And of course, it's still early. I'm at 5 weeks. Well, 4 weeks. This is 4 weeks. No vomiting, bloating. Just tired. Very tired during the 4th week. Just wanting to sleep. I've had a moment. I've had a moment where all of a sudden it was like I was hungry, like all day long hungry, and I was eating a lot and lots of food. And I'm like, oh my goodness, why am I craving these things? And I'm only 4 weeks pregnant. And I pretty much, in order to control it, because I realized my scale was going up, I gained like 15 pounds in like 4 days. That is horrible. And I was just so horrified and just mad with myself for doing it. And I had to get control of it. And you're probably asking how I got control over it. I pretty much had to tell myself, you're not hungry. If you've already eaten and it hasn't been 3 to 4 hours yet, you're not hungry. I just drink water, to fill up my stomach, and just keep going. Or I'll just sit and eat a little small cup of nuts. Like, I love walnuts. So I just eat a cup of walnuts and drink lots of water. And that usually helps satisfy my stomach. Now, it's not satisfying my mind, because my mind is constantly telling me you're hungry when I know that I've already eaten. So if you're struggling with that, you're gonna have to really, really fight yourself into telling yourself you're not hungry. Try eating some nuts, try eating a little Nutribar, try eating a little cup of yogurt, but try and definitely fill up more with water so that you can definitely last throughout the 3 to 4 hours you have to wait before trying to eat again. Okay? I think that's it for week 4. Okay? Now we're gonna get into week 5, guys. So week 5 for me, I've had a cold. I have been sneezing, coughing, and it would only last about 24 to 48 hours. And it would just come on its own. It would just happen. I would start sneezing and everything. I'm like, goodness, I know I take a little cold medicine, nothing too strong. I keep my socks on. I definitely try not to have my house too cold because I don't do great with cold weather. I'm more of a hot temperature type woman. Not super hot where I'm like overheated hot, but like warm. I like a warm temperature. I don't like things too cold because it gives me chill bumps and it just makes me feel uncomfortable. So definitely I am most of the time under a cover because my husband likes to keep the temperature very low in the house. So week 5, fatigue, headaches, joint pain, urinating. I've been frequently urinating 24/7, and it's kind of crazy because the baby is like really, really small. So, most times you'd be like, okay, you'll be urinating more if the baby's sitting on your bladder. But from what I've read on the internet, that week 5 is usually when you start to notice you're peeing a lot more. And for me, week 4, when week 4 started, I started peeing a lot more. So mine started during week 4. Week 5, it's a little more frequently now. But of course, I drank just about 2 gallons of water a day. So I'm always gonna go to the bathroom. And plus my bladder is I have a child's bladder, so it means it's really small. It's not a mature sized bladder. So that means I cannot hold very much water, like literally. If I were to drink 8 ounces of water, I would have to go in the next 15 minutes or less time. So I am constantly in the bathroom 24/7. Like right now, I gotta go pee again. But it can wait. It can wait for a minute. I mean, I don't have to go like super bad, but I can definitely feel it. Oh, this one's a good one, guys. So this started 3 days ago. I started to get itchy fingers. I call it itchy fingers, but it's called something else on the internet. I should have actually wrote down the name of it, but I woke up right before 5 weeks. So I was 4 weeks and 4 weeks and 6 days. And I woke up and all of a sudden my hands, the palms of my fingertips, my fingers, just the fingers, the fingertips, the back of my hands would start itching. And it would itch so bad, it felt like I was covered in ants. It only happens in the mornings, which is crazy. But it only happens in the mornings, but at a different time frame. It would happen between 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. It would never get to noon, and I won't feel it for the rest of the day. So I looked it up, and it's a symptom of pregnancy, and it's pretty much just caused by your hormone changes. And for me, it's so weird because when it happens to me, it's like Oh my gosh, I want to scream, I want to yell. The relief, how do I get relief from it? I would do this. I would rub my hands together. I would do this, and I would do this for about 15 minutes, just doing this, because it will feel like freaking horrible. And sometimes I would put my hands under warm water and just let the water run through my fingers for a while. And the warm water just helps to like definitely me not focus on the itchiness. And I notice that it starts to cool down the itchiness, and eventually after 5 minutes it will go away, and I won't have it for the rest of the day, and it'll start all over again the next morning at a different time. So if you're dealing with itchy fingers, I rub mine together. It takes a while, it feels horrible, and it's just like it is not a good feeling. Like, if you're allergic to, excuse me, y'all. If you are allergic to something and you put it on your skin, you know how it makes you itchy. It's just like, oh my goodness. That is what it feels like. It is so itchy. It is so irritating and so uncomfortable. Guys, the relief I get from it is just rubbing them constantly together and putting them under warm water. So if you're wanting to try those, guys, and you're going through this, try it out. They also says on the internet to moisturize your hands and everything. As when it starts to itch, moisturize your hands. Keep your hands moisturized, and that will also help it. I don't really believe that helps, because I keep lotion on my hands, so it's a constant thing, and yet I still have it. So you can't always believe everything on the freaking internet. Your experience is what's true. Remember that. Your experience is what's true, versus the bullshit that people say, oh, it's this, oh, it's that, oh, science is always best. Science is best at some things, but your experience is the truth. And that's how other people that go through the same thing you go through is going to be able to deal with it. Okay. Also, guys, let's see if I got something else for you. Nope, that's it. So, this is my freestyle moments, guys. I'm hoping my kids don't wake up. This pregnancy for me is scary. Because I've already experienced the itchy hands. I've already seen so many symptoms that I haven't had with the other 3 babies. And these are coming more early than it should. I want to have a healthy pregnancy, but at the same time, I want to lose weight. Not necessarily lose weight, but more of building my body. So I will be, from this moment forward, I remember saying that I didn't know whether or not I was going to still do ab workout. I didn't know whether or not I was going to continue being on my back, but I've gotten the clearance from my doctor that until I am 12 weeks, I am perfectly okay with being on my back, but not for a very long period of time, just for a little bit of time. So that's why I only do, if I'm laying flat on my back, I'm only going to do 5 exercises that's flat. And then of course I will slightly sit up a little bit to do the other exercises. So that's just the way I'm doing it. Don't know if I'm going to do jumping. I'm going to try and modify jumping. I miss jumping. I miss doing jumping jacks and things like that. It's a transition that you have to do for your baby. So I'm going to pretty much do a full test run of pretty much of everything they say don't do, you can do. I've even had people say, you know, it's best for you to do prenatal yoga. I have watched prenatal yoga. I can do some of the moves from prenatal yoga. I don't mind that. But I also want to do me. I also want to be me. I also want to say, hey, you know, I can still lift weights. I can still do squats. I can still do this, still do that, even at 9 months pregnant. So I am now in my second month of pregnancy, the beginning second month of pregnancy. And it's a great experience. But of course, only thing I really feel with the baby is I can feel the attachment between the baby and me. So like I can feel where my navel is. I can feel the attachment because and when I move, I can feel it. Where my navel is, I can actually feel where there's the attachment of the placenta that's attached to me, to the baby. I can definitely feel it, which is really cool because I think throughout all of my pregnancies, I've felt it. And that's a really cool feeling for me that I can actually feel that. What else? Do I have any bad things to say? No. Pregnancy is supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be a happy moment for you as a mother and with your child. And it's supposed to be a bond between you and your child. And of course, daddy, cannot forget daddy. But daddy won't experience the same thing you do. He'll only experience the things from the outside in, you know, versus what you feel throughout your entire pregnancy. But we are happy, you know, we're happy, and it's always good to make sure that you're happy and that you're always positive and that you're not stressing yourself out. And of course, I have little toddlers running around, so of course I am yelling and just stressed a little bit. But definitely, I go for walks. Definitely trying to have some time to myself. I'll lay in my bed and just watch a crazy movie and just relax. The most important thing is rest, drinking lots of water, staying positive, and just love the fact that you are pregnant. Love the fact that there's a baby growing inside of you and that you have to eat really good things and take care of yourself, and that this experience is a one-in-a-lifetime experience. So make the best of it. My pregnancy is going good, and on Monday I will be 6 weeks, and I'm super duper excited to talk about 6 weeks on Monday. I will be doing a Pregnancy&Me every week. I'm a little bit behind because I'm doing 3 through 5. I didn't really want to do 1 and 2 because I really didn't know what heck happened during 1 and 2. Nothing really happens during 1 and 2. I mean, of course, some people can find out when they're pregnant, things like that, but nothing really happened. So I really didn't notice anything. I was still the same. So I pray that this video was very helpful to some. I'm sorry that I rambled so much, but I definitely hope to have some good news for 6 weeks. Well, I think for me, I'm going to do, I don't know, debate on if I want to do 6 weeks right at 6 weeks or do I want to wait until Sunday. You know what? I think that's what I'm going to do. So Pregnancy&Me will be on Sundays, and at that time I will be 6 weeks and 6 days, and I will definitely know what happened through that week, because the next day I'll be 7 weeks. So Pregnancy&Me will be every Sunday, okay? So if you're wanting to sit with me and definitely hear me ramble about my pregnancy, feel free.